Alright, what's up everybody? My gamer family. What's going on today? Real quick, I always say real quick, but on this one we're going to talk about character combos and the tunes you can have and how many accounts you can have, etc. So stay tuned and hopefully you guys learn a little something. Okay, so if you know how I play on here, I have 6 tunes currently. I've been on this server for about a year and a half. I've currently got 6 tunes, and I'll show you real quick what all the different tunes I have on each one is. Alright, so on this account, I've got my Barb on the one, and then my Seeker on the same account. On this account, I've got my Archer, and then my Vino. I just created about a month ago. No, wait, 2 weeks ago. On this one, I have my Duskblade and then my Cleric. Alright, okay, so if you guys want, go ahead and pause the video now and take a guess on why I have them stacked on 3 different counts like that. And if you're right, I'll let you know. Well, if you watch the video, the rest of the video you'll also know too. Okay, so but the reason why you want to have multiple tunes on multiple accounts, there's a couple of things for it, right? So you have things like sharing resources, complementing each other's buffs for dungeons and stuff. Let's go into the sharing aspect. Okay, so for having multiple tunes on different multiple accounts, let's say the reason why I have the Barb and the Seeker on the same account. Well, if you can guess, they're both HA class, right? Heavy armor. And so if I wanted to, I can share my helmet, Emperor Tome, Wings of Ascension, and physical defense stuff with each other. Alright? And the way you do that easy is you go to a banker. In the PWI boutique, you have to get an account stash stone, and then once you do, you can share everything. This is like a mini bank. I can just switch back and forth to my different tunes. And so if you have let's say one account just has HA class, one has light armor class, and the other one has arcane class, and that's totally, it makes a lot of sense. You can share gear. You don't have to sit there and farm all this expensive gear all the time, especially on this server where you can get a Necronomicon tome and it's super expensive. You could share that between different tunes, and so they'll both be really OP and stuff because you have all this high gear that you can switch back between them. Another reason why multi-tuning, or sorry, multiple tunes on multiple accounts is a good idea is you get star rewards, right? So if you put any kind of QB into your tune or your account, you get these rewards, right? You get VIP rewards. So if you spend 10 coins, you get whatever that reward would be right there. Fast repair and this and that and whatever. But so one of the biggest ones that I try to get is the pick up all skill, and so now I have that on this tune and my Seeker. Alright, so it's really helpful for farming and or doing anything really. So that's a second reason why. Okay, so now let's talk about buff advantages. Okay, so first I wanted to keep it all HA, LA, AA separate, right? But as I got into it, I realized that you can't always have the same advantages of each. So like let's say you have your Cleric on one. Well, another class that's very important, but which is also an AA class, is a Vino. Some of the buffs that you want to be able to have in dungeons is the damage amplifying buff that you get from the Heaven's Flame or Blood Vow. So those 2 tunes you kind of don't want to have on the same account. And plus, like, another buff that you need to have for the Vino is the amplify buff, but you can't use the Vino and the Cleric at the same time if they're on the same account. So originally maybe I did start out having everything as an HA, LA, and AA separate, but now I just try to figure out like what could I use in a dungeon? Since my Dustblade's my biggest damage dealer, I don't need the cleric amplification from the Heaven's Wrath for my Dustblade. He deals really good damage as it is, so that's why I put my cleric on there. Um, and a lot of people will say, well, you could actually get double the amount of damage from your Dustblade. Well, it wouldn't be double, but it would be better with the cleric, but I should rely on his damage and or someone else's cleric. And then the Vino I just created, so I see that there was a hole in the amount of Vinos that they were missing. So you're always usually missing a BM, a Vino, or a cleric nowadays for some of these bigger dungeons and stuff. So that's why I tried to make them. Soloing capabilities. Okay, so another reason why I have it separated like it is like I said, some of the bigger tunes that I have are soloing stuff by themselves, which most of them now can. But if you want to be able to solo big dungeons, let's say like you want to solo like a Flows Over Palace, and you don't want to make a whole big squad sometimes and stuff like that. If you're just doing something small just to get a BH or something like that, then yeah, you want to have your cleric or healer if you need it, a damage dealer, and then maybe a tanking class. So that my Barb is able to tank that Toad no problem and stuff like that. He's been able to do that for a long time, so that's why he's always going to be on his separate from the cleric and big damage dealers. Okay, some of the big combos that you want to get, if like you think about it, is let's say you're constant AoE, right? So for a constant AoE, for stuff like Delta or any kind of like farming or events that you need to just constantly have an AoE, you've got your Archer with Barrage, you've got your Seeker with Vortex, you've got the Wizard with Dragon's Breath. I think that's what that skill's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then the Psychic has a continuous AoE also. So those I would keep in a separate area too. Well, actually I have my Archer and my Seeker on a separate one, so I can do a double AoE and stuff, but that's also an important skill. It's up to you how you want to separate them out. By the way, I just confirmed with, and I'll post it right here, I just confirmed with our GM Elite that you can have as many accounts as you want, but you can only log in 3 at a time. So if you wanted to, you could have 10 separate tunes on 10 separate accounts, but the thing about that is you cannot share any of the Q rewards, armor gear, or anything like that. So keep that in mind. You're gonna have to play what style is best for you, but in that situation, that is best for doing big dungeons or whatever, where you need to have whatever specific class you need to fill that niche for that dungeon. So keep that in mind. I did start out sharing so I can share all the armor and pieces and stuff like that, but I actually don't do that anymore. It's kind of lazy of me, but if I want to switch to another class real fast, I just switch over. I don't have to go to the bank every time, drop it in the account stash, and go to the other account, pick it back up, arm it on. Alright, I hope that kind of clears things up for you guys. Like I said, there's multiple advantages to having 3 accounts only and have a bunch of tunes on them versus having a whole bunch of accounts with 1 tune each on them. You're gonna have to figure out which is best for you. Okay, so if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I don't know if I said that at the beginning, but this video was actually a comment from one of my fans. So I just remember, if you guys have any comments or questions and suggestions, I do read the comment sections all the time, and I get a lot of good video ideas from it too. So I give it up to Anton Dornkamp, I hope I said that right, for giving me this video suggestion, and I hope it helps other people out too. Alright, so please click like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys back in game. Alright, peace.